Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Welcome to Tales from the Field. We are back and better than ever. My name is Bradley Ball, and it is so good to have you with us. We had a busy week last week. Monday, Josh Ludeman delivered setup to Windows with Chocolatey for data developers in seconds. Our community roundtable was on Thursday. On Tuesday. Wow, where's my mind? I'm already heading for the weekend, right? On Wednesday, we released how to create a dynamic pipeline in Azure Data Factory and Azure Synapse Analytics. And then this past Monday, we released computer vision on Azure ML Studio. Every single person on the pane right now has a video that we've dropped over the last week. Well done, gentlemen. Great job. Not to mention, we then had SQL Saturday Jacksonville, our first time together as a group. It was so amazing, so much to see, so much to do. You don't want to miss a thing. So how do you do that? Well, first off, head over to our YouTube channel, Tales from the Field. Make sure to subscribe to it. That's where we're streaming out of. Speaking of that stream, we are also streaming on Twitter over at Tales FT the Field. We are also streaming on Josh Ludeman, Neeraj Jhaveri, SQL Balls, and we are on SQL Balls over on LinkedIn. And of course, our hub on YouTube, which is where you can find all of our content each and every single week. Want to interact with the show? Just go to any of those streams, make a comment on it, and one of my wonderful co-hosts will see that comment and they will add it to the broadcast. Speaking of those co-hosts, I am joined by Andres Padilla, Josh Ludeman, and New York has Jay-Z. But when we go out, there's one man who runs this town tonight, and it's your friend and mine, Neeraj Jhaveri. Andres, we've hit a rhythm, buddy. 4 weeks in a row. We've got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday videos. This past week, we were all in person. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm still reveling by all the hot fire that I got to listen to this past weekend. On top of that, it's nice to have the machine churning out tech tidbits weekly. I love it.
Absolutely good stuff. Your drone demo was just exceptional. People really responded to it really well. We've got a couple shorts up on the website oh man, they are just so cool. I couldn't help it. The second one features you flying your drone, and the cool thing was if it got your face or it got a signal in front of it, it would do a flip. And that was the coolest thing. You got it to do a couple flips, and then it was right up against the wall. By the way, nice skills. You caught it like. That was perfect dad chops right there. It shows
it's all the bartending I had previous to Microsoft. That's what helped me out. But no, I'm glad that demo went off really well. Now you know why I disappeared in Jacksonville for quite a. I was just trying to get it right. That was it. Just trying to get it right.
It's our buddy Dan Taylor. It's my favorite day and time of the week. Tales from the Field on Tuesday. Thank you, Dan. Always good to have you with us, man. It was great to have you up in Jacksonville as well. We all had a great time.
Skipped the dinner also, right? He did not. It skipped Friday night dinner just for doing this whole demo.
I know. So next time around, maybe we skip the drone stuff and you come hang out with us a little bit more. Neeraj had some flight troubles though. How you doing, man? Did you finally get to catch up on your sleep?
Yes. Yesterday I was able to catch up. I ended up both ways at least 3 hours late. So just craziness. Ooh. I was going to be reaching before Andreas, and it turned up that I flew after Andreas flew an hour or 2 hours after Andreas flew out.
Yeah. So your delay time was Andreas's drone time.
Yeah. Andreas made it. And Andreas was lucky that he had a personal plane which flew only with 12 people in it.
I had 12 people.
So how did everybody else do from a room perspective? Because they had you in kind of a far off room, and while you only had 12, your room was actually quite full. So I think if they put you in a main auditorium or something like that, you would have had a much larger audience, especially for the drone things you were doing.
Yeah.
It was a good crowd.
I had 12 people on the flight, Brad, but we had a good crowd in the drone demo.
Yeah, I was like, sorry.
Neeraj got not only did Neeraj suffer a 3-hour delay, he had to sit in the back with the livestock. They downgraded him, to get up to New York. So
what the heck?
Yeah, they're just out of their mind.
Oh man. Next time, maybe Neeraj. I mean, it's a longer trip, but take a train.
Yeah.
They've got a station in Jacksonville. I mean, you could come down Amtrak all the way, baby. Then you'd have one of those nice sleeper cabins. You'd have a lay flat seat.
There's even and for coming to Orlando, there's even one in Sanford on the north side of Orlando. There's a Amtrak station. They even have the car train there, so you can drive from up in the Northeast down to Virginia, catch the car train and ride that all the way down to Sanford, and then you don't even have to rent a car when you get here. You just get your car at the train station and drive where you got to go.
Or you can hop in that train. Josh will pick you up in his Tesla, take you over to Disney, and then you can ride home with me.
Mm-hmm.
Can we give Josh a thank you? He took us to see Guardians.
Yeah.
I want to shout out for Josh. Yeah. Thank you for that, Josh.
No, that was a fun time. That was a fun time, and for me, I've loved the Guardians, all three of the Guardians movies, and getting to see, kind of the final installment of the trilogy that James came up with for this, the director, and it was
no spoilers.
I just love it.
Yeah, no spoilers from any of us. You got to go check it out yourself. It's amazing.
To figure out the right way to, to put it, but yeah, no, he's been very public. This was the end of the trilogy he was doing, and it landed well. I mean, what can I say other than that?
And my hope is the next time a Marvel movie is coming out is in November, and if we're all together at Live 360, we can go catch another flick together, because they have a movie theater right there in the downtown studio area. And as a matter of fact, for a while when we were capturing sentiment analysis on every movie that came out, that was part of the fun. We would go capture the movie, and then any of the MVPs and other Microsoft folks that went with us to go see the movie, they would tweet knowing that we were going to capture that and capture the sentiment.
But I think we jinxed that whole thing, because the last movie we went to and capture sentiment, if memory serves, what movie was that, Brad?
That was Justice League. And I remember that Tom LaRock after that tweeted to Warner Brothers and said, now that I know how much my negative sentiment matters for your future box office, if you're willing to pay me good money, I'll be willing to tweet better things about your movies. Because it's not the quality, but you know what? There's hope for the Flash. The Flash looks pretty good.
It does. But I don't know how much of that is, without derailing too far, I don't know how much of it, for me, getting me excited about it is the nostalgia of Michael Keaton. But I don't know.
I got to tell you, I love it that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton are both in that movie, because, well, I don't feel the material was great for him, and not to derail too much. Yeah. But Ben Affleck, I felt was a quality Batman, just didn't have good surface material. And before we derail things any further, I was going to say we are here for the Azure Data Community Roundtable. Let's go ahead and kick that off. And Neeraj, you got something really cool. Let's go straight into it. So you have this blog that was put out there by Tyler Mays Childers, and it's going to be featuring our good friends Adam Sackton and Patrick LeBlanc. We've had both of them on the program before. Why don't you talk to me about this a little bit?
So, Microsoft Build is coming up. May 23rd is the kickoff, Tuesday, the Satya's keynote, and then 24th, 25th is the Developers Day. So it's a biggest event, right? I mean, one of the biggest event in Microsoft. So I just got this blog. I was just while on the airport looking at what are the things that are going to happen. Found this blog where Adam and Patrick are going to do a learning session for what new things are coming in Power BI and all of that. So something that I'm in the data community with Synapse and all of them got me excited to look at this blog, and I just wanted to know everybody to know what's happening in there. They are doing a show on May 24th and 25th, and something to learn what's new coming in. I mean, I don't know what is coming in, but at least something that people can learn from Adam and Patrick.
Absolutely. Well, and this is going to be a live digital event. And if you got to look closely at the text here. Let me see. I can't remember if I have Zoom it on. Let me add Zoom it real quick, because we want to take a look at this. This live digital event is going to be happening May 24th and May 25th. On demand and post broadcast, and there is a live cast that's going to be happening, and this is going to be super excited. Not only that, I've got a little bit of news. I told you guys I had something exciting to tell you. So I talked to Adam just before the broadcast today, and they're going to be doing this really big, cool digital event. It's already been posted. The blog has the details about it. We're going to be the lead-in show. We are going to have Adam Saxton, guy in a cube himself, and Bradley Schatt from the Synapse product group, from the Synapse CSE team on that product group. They're going to be here with us. We're going to do 2 special shows on May 24th and May 25th from, 11 a.m. to 11:50 East Coast time. And Adam is going to be with us in the morning. Brad is going to be with us in the morning. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I can't wait for this.
I've got to clean up.
I was going to say, I've got to move houses. I'm going to have
That's what I just started doing. I'm like, I got to make room, for Adam to sit down and drink and stuff. Otherwise, like morning coffee and things.
I think he's still going to be in Texas. I think he's
really
still. Yeah.
I got to find something to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Put on your best t-shirt.
You know
That's what I'm going to do.
I'm calling an audible here, guys. But if we have Brad Schatt coming, in honor of the wars, I think I should change my hat that day because I lost a bet with him when we were in Jacksonville. So, yeah, I might as well wear the hat then.
I'm gonna have to wear my glasses. It's really bright.
I might not have to wear my glasses.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan, welcome to all our new subscribers that will be a part of this cool event. Absolutely. Because we picked up quite a few while we were in Jacksonville. A lot of really great folks gave us a follow, and it was wonderful because we had so many different sessions. We had a pre-con. We met a ton of wonderful people, and it was such a great time we had up there. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe we can make that an annual thing because that was such a great time. We should definitely get together again. Maybe next year we plan it so all of us are teaching the pre-con.
Whoa.
Probably,
That'd be a hell of a con, man. That'd be a hell of a pre-con.
I think so. It'd be a lot of fun. So I'm up next. I'm going to transition out of what we were talking about. We will talk about that again. Don't you worry. A lot of great stuff to come on that. I'm going to go to our good friend, Steve Jones. Steve Jones, who was at SQL Saturday Jacksonville, editor-in-chief of SQL Server Central, using new open source SQL command to create containers. What I love about this is I know how to do this via PowerShell, and I've created containers via PowerShell using Docker. I didn't realize that you could do this using SQL command, and that was some functionality that they had just recently released, and I just thought it was great stuff. Steve walks through how you create it, how you accept the licensing terms, so that way you don't have to worry about the additional screens. He shows how to be able to continue with this. Then once you set this up, he shows how you can use it to be able to restore a backup of a database. And then he even shows how we can query that database. And if you look, there's some interactive commands where you can open Azure Data Studio, or you can run the query in SQL command. So very, very cool stuff. I love this super detailed step-by-step things that you can also follow along at home, which I think is key to learning. Just an absolutely great blog. I don't think we've had a Steve blog on here before though. And Steve is just, he's such a stalwart in the community. It was so wonderful to see him. It was nice to be able to he always pats my belly and lets me know that I've still got work to do to lose some weight.
And when you forget about that after it being a while of not seeing you and Steve together, and Steve walks up behind you and starts doing that, there is that initial awkward, like, what am I seeing right now?
Well, it just made me feel good. I like nice warm hugs.
Yeah, I went through that Saturday. I was like, what am I? Okay.
And it's so funny because I was telling Josh, I was thrilled because I went and I ran a 5K in 31 minutes. I was like, I'm getting faster. I'm losing weight. I feel good. And then I walk in and Steve
like he was on cue.
And he goes, still got some work to do. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
It was like it was on cue too. It was like, yeah, here we go. He's got good hopes and dreams. He's excited. Crush them. There we go.
Up next, I have Andreas. Andreas, you have everything you want to know about Onyx.
Oh, this goes hand in hand with SQL Saturday. Our Vision AI video that Neeraj and I just put out there, and it's your one-stop shop for knowing everything you really wanted to know, really, in an hour about Onyx and why it's so important. Here's the big gist. You have to worry about frameworks. You have to worry about hardware. You have to worry about a model being trained in the cloud or in your data center. You have to worry about SDKs, libraries, and the list goes on and on and on. I want to get rid of all that complexity. I want to make it interoperable. I want to make it so it's fast and I'm able to prototype. I want to make it so that it's portable and it's efficient, packages up my model so that it's fast on the hardware where I deploy it. So in this post, we see what the problem scenario is, what are the challenges we're seeing, and how Onyx helps us get over those humps, easily package up a model that you can, create on-prem, in the cloud, in Azure, and then package it and deploy it on your, landing hardware. The good thing about Onyx and the great thing about AutoML in Azure is that we're already doing this automatically for Vision AI scenarios, for natural language processing. And he shows us what products automatically create Onyx models for us. Onyx Model Zoo has already cookie cutter Onyx models created for us. Azure Cognitive Services does it for us. AutoML does it for us. You can convert an existing model and put it into an Onyx format, and you can train it from the model ground up. Everything you want to know about Onyx is in this video. Watch it. You'll come out so strong, so powerful. I love what they did.
Great stuff.
Am I enthusiastic enough? Sure.
No, I love it. It's
Needs more cowbell.
Still.
Yeah, it needs more cowbell.
Cowbell. There we go.
Maybe
cowbell next time. You know
Always
what?
needs more cowbell.
I got to tell you, why has nobody come up with an open source software package called Cowbell? I mean, it's just waiting for it, right? I need more cowbell. That should be our next, right? Seriously. The marketing is right there. You've already got sound bites.
Some kind of performance improvement thing.
Yeah.
The hat is thinking.
Dan needs some blue steel. There it is. There's the blue steel. All right. So next up, Mr. Josh Ludeman, and you've got a great blog from Ginger Grant, one of our good friends, our former colleagues over at Pragmatic, and she's a wonderful MVP for Microsoft, and she was also a presenter and head of pre-con at SQL Saturday Jacksonville.
Yeah, so we had such a great event at SQL Saturday Jacksonville. When I was looking for links for this week's show, I decided I'm going to feature some of the great people that we cross paths with that maybe we haven't featured as of yet. In here that I could remember. And again, my memory's slow, not that good. I'm old, so deal with me if we've already covered Ginger before. But here she did a great post on 4 ways to incorporate Synapse and Power BI together. She talks about Lakehouse connections. She talks about serverless as a data source, serverless SQL using dedicated pools. And really bringing that together with Power BI and doing it with Power BI inside of Synapse. So really, again, just demonstrating the power of that tool and the collaboration between those two services. So not only is this a great post, but also Ginger as a whole, she does blogging on and sessions on R and Spark and really anything in data warehousing and analytics.
Nice. Excellent stuff. We have had Ginger on before, so just so you know, but yes,
okay.
always love to be able to have a great blog from Ginger.
Like I said, I'm old. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
All right. Speaking of someone who is young and hip, Neeraj, you are up next with Build Real-Time Dashboards with Power BI datasets produced by Azure Stream Analytics No-Code Editor.
So this was a blog by Zhu Zheng. So this year just came up when we were presenting on Databricks and Stream Analytics in one of our SQL Jacksonville, one of the one of the participant asked us like, can we stream it out in Power BI? And I was like, yeah, I think we can do it. And I was just trying to find it out a easy way to do it. And this guy has done a great job showing how you can do it in getting the data into Power BI with no code also, I mean, which is the best thing to do, right? I mean, you don't have to write crazy code to even figure it out in there. He shows an example how to do it, and very nicely done. He brings in data into there, and then he just customizes the data, and then sees a data out. I mean, the reporting out of it with a good, nice, cool dashboard on it. Something that somebody asked me up in Jacksonville saying, "Can you show me how we can do it?" Just we ran out of time, but that is something that would be a good to see it here.
Very nice. Very nice. Great
Awesome
stuff
post.
too. Very detailed blog.
Yep.
Excellent. So up next, it's me, and I have SQL Kitty automating database maintenance on Azure. I really love this blog. This is one that I found on LinkedIn. And one of the things that I thought about this was really nice because what she did was she did a breakdown of ways to be able to automate maintenance. Looking at how to use things with Azure Runbooks, Azure Functions, Logic Apps, Elastic Jobs, or with Azure SQL Agent. Well, with SQL Server Agent. Sorry, SQL Server Agent, of course, is going to only be available on SQL Managed Instance for your PaaS service. But what I love was she put together the table of contents, and then she dove into each one of these. She talked about how to do them, how the high-level steps worked, helpful links provided then to be able to go through, because we all know once you get your data up into Azure, we've still got to take care of that data. You love your data, right? So you need to take care of it. And so what do you need to do? You need to maintain the maintenance that you have on-prem, because we're going to be inserting data. So you're going to need to update your statistics. You're going to be fragmenting data through some inserts, through some changes, possibly some insert, update, delete operations. So you're going to need to do some re-indexing. All those wonderful things are completely possible. You just need to look at them through a little bit different lens and look at the different services that you need to do it. I thought this was a really, really nice job of bringing those things together. Let's see. So next up, I have Andreas, and I lost this. Sorry. Okay. Supercharge archive content discovery with ChatGPT and Azure Video Index.
Ooh.
And Andreas was so excited about this that he was like, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you about this anymore whatsoever. Yep, his video is up. So, there we go. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a quick audible, and we're going to go with Josh, and then we will get back to Andreas.
Yes.
Josh, you've got one by our good friend, man, I absolutely love and admire, and it was so nice to see him at SQL Saturday Jacksonville. One of the best consultants, bar none, that I've ever worked with, one of the best people I've ever worked with. He's inspiring when I give different talks. His fingerprints are all over on them because I learned so much from working with this man. And I'm talking about Steve Hughes, Data on Wheels. This is the blog that is done by Steve and Christina Hughes, a father and daughter team. And it is building and deploying and sharing remote Jupyter notebooks and Azure Data Studio.
Yep. And Steve has been a longtime presenter at different events across not just data, but also app dev as well. And this one here, he gets into, really into the analytics space, talking about the ability to use notebooks in Azure Data Studio, which this functionality has been coming on strong the last few years. How to get it into, GitHub, which if you're not familiar with that, I can try and find and dig out a blog post for next time around about putting Jupyter notebooks in GitHub where they're actually usable, so that you can use them through the GitHub UI. But it's really a great post. He walks through the whole thing. Why would you use it? Doing things like, going through and the functionality. Great post. On the other side of this same blog, Data on Wheels, you've got Christina doing a lot of great work in the analytics space as well. But she also focuses a lot on Power BI. Definitely, if analytics, Power BI, data, that space, Data on Wheels is a great blog to have with two wonderful people running it. Three actually as well, with Steve's wife as well.
There we go. Yeah. So, Andres, I'm going to circle back to you, my friend. We know you got so excited about the blog that we lost you for a second. So
I thought for a second his phone exploded. Really?
No, I flipped over the table. I was so excited. That's what happened.
So you have supercharged archive content discovery with ChatGPT and Azure Video Indexer.
And if you're not excited about this, there's something wrong with you. Okay, because how can you not get excited about taking an audio video indexer, putting your videos in there, indexing them, and then taking ChatGPT to be able to search content inside those videos. On top of that, I can actually use ChatGPT to generate summarizations of what's in the video. How awesome is that? I can do this for improving content editing, content curation, improving editorials with this type of search. Thank you, Fardu Vanderdien, for posting this.
Fantastic. And I love it that there's a video walking through this as well, because I always love it when we have content, because you never know how people learn, right? Some people love to be able to read things, follow along tutorials. Others are very visual in nature, where they need to be able to see that, and videos really help people understand how to do that. Great stuff. Great content. I'm excited. I'm completely excited. Way to go. All right. So this is going to bring us back around to Neeraj. Neeraj, you have Analytics Vidya's top 10 blogs on computer vision in 2022.
So this blog, I was just, because Andres was like, learn about our computer vision presentation and get me the nice blogs in there. So I was looking at some of the nice blogs. Came about this blog, Analytics Vidya, Sanjana Rajpal, who's doing it up. She has defined 10 different blogs. 10 best blogs out there, showing us all about different types of computer vision out there that needs to be done, right? Face recognition using Python, or object detection using her Cascade, OpenCVs, and all of them. She has even given us all details about it, which thing to look at it, and which would help you build your things and that. So something very interesting I found while I was working on the presentation with Andreas on Friday, something that I was reading on this whole thing up. So this was definitely good to have handy.
Very nice. Great stuff. So I was going to say, mine, I'm up next. So I'm actually going to recommend a podcast. And I think this is the first podcast that we've recommended on here. So Buck Woody, our good friend who has been on the show multiple times with us, and Patrick LeBlanc. Patrick has a podcast that he's doing. It's a quick 30-minute podcast. Absolutely amazing that he's doing this with Microsoft, and it's Insights into Tomorrow. And sometimes they talk to businesses, sometimes they talk to other technology advocates, but they talk about how how technology works, how it works with businesses. And Buck and Patrick have a specific topic, the blooming of AI spring. Just like anything in the world, there are springs, there are falls, there are winters. And we have had multiple of them. Buck actually traces the beginning origins of AI all the way back to 300 BC. And then he jumps forward to the 1600s to one of the first philosophers who actually coined the term artificial intelligence after it was first used in 300 BC. And then he comes forward in times and he talks about the springs and the winters we have. And right now we are clearly in a spring. And it is a wonderful history of the technology, also with some fascinating insights of where they believe the technology is going. This was a quick 30-minute listen. I listened to this on my morning walk. I sent Buck a text, which I sometimes do in the morning while I'm walking around. And I told him that I really, really enjoyed it and that I was going to feature it this week. It is absolutely great stuff. It was very entertaining. I really recommend it. Great job, Buck, and great job, Patrick. Andreas, I have you up next. You have Microsoft's new Azure Storage Mover makes cloud migrations easier.
And thank you, Robbie and Noreen, for posting about this. And there's so much great content coming out. I really wanted to bring this in. Yeah, I know it's a month later, but Azure Storage Mover went GA last month, and it's now another great option. If you have a ton of files, folders, NFS shares, on-prem, this is another great option for migrating that data into the cloud. I get better performance. I get greater scale. I have the ability to do hybrid scenarios where I put my source into read-only mode, and I can push all that data up into the cloud. It's it's managed through an agent. You have to install it on a VM, but I get more firepower than I do with other options. And I get the ability to jump in and have a hybrid scenario, either copy or turn off the source completely, make it just read only, a read only source, and then move it up, or I can make it so it's active. So I get a lot of flexibility with this new migration service through Azure Storage.
Nice.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. Love it, Andres. Josh, last but not least, I have you, and you have Data Flow Solutions by Rick Lowe.
Yeah. In this blog post, Rick actually goes through how to monitor, which seems like a basic function, right? But monitoring SQL Server running on Linux using systat. So by basically, when you're running in Linux, one of the things that doesn't exist there is perfmon. For a lot of DBAs, that's like a root tool of understanding what's going on. So he actually walks through here how to install systat, and then there's actually a part 2 where he goes further into monitoring it. But in this, he goes through, using parameters, how to view the data, even enabling automated collection, basically viewing some of the data so you can make it easier to process. And then, then the next one actually gets to getting to the SAR data, getting that SAR data into SQL Server, quick and dirty, which is a neat way to post it. But I thought this would be good for customers, especially those looking to run SQL Server in a smaller, OS footprint, or using Linux in some way, shape, or form, that this would be very interesting to help them with the collection of those metrics.
And I gotta give Rob credit, right? His Twitter handle is Dataflow. Rick. That's right, Rick. Sorry, I was looking right at that. And I still said the wrong day. Rick's Twitter handle is Dataflow, FLO, low, LOWE, which, I mean, look, as a guy with the last name, I love it when anybody takes their last name and, takes lemons and make lemonade. Feeling the flow. Absolutely. Okay. I think that covers it for the content, and it's time for us to wrap things up. So I'm going to tell you, all my friends are going to tell you, especially my friends right here on screen, go sign up for MS Build. It is free for online registration. If you have a question as to why would I sign up for that, that's a developer conference and I'm a data person, well, go look at the first link that Neeraj put in this list, because Adam and Patrick talk about it. As a matter of fact, Patrick phones a friend and calls one of our VPs to be able to come in and help explain. It is going to be a big event for data people. You are not going to want to miss it. Remember that there's going to be the live digital event on May 24th, May 25th. Block it on your calendar. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We will be starting 1 hour before with our pre-show with Adam Saxton and also with Bradley Schatt. The Power BI Cat team, the Azure Synapse CSE team, together with the Azure Fast Track team. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. I just can't wait. I am so excited for this week and the content that we are going to cover. Let's see what else. Oh, it's time, right? We don't know if we're in. We've submitted. We're hopefully going to hear pretty soon. But Josh, what time is it? It's time.
It's so close to being time.
I was going to say your wind-up's taking too long, man. Come on, tell me.
No.
What time is it?
It is time for us to go to the beautiful grounds of Universal Studios Orlando and the luscious, beautiful Lowe's Royal Pacific Resort and Conference Center in
absolutely
beautiful Orlando, Florida.
For Live 360. What a wonderful event. It is the week before Thanksgiving. Start planning your trip, planning your tickets right now. You are going to want to be there. What's better than that? Give yourself a treat before you got to go meet with family for the week of Thanksgiving. Come to where you want to be. Come to Orlando. See the sights. I mean, you're at a hotel that butts up right against the Universal Studios complex. Your room key is a fast pass. No need to wait in line. Go and enjoy it. It's going to be decorated for the holidays. The hotel has a wonderful gingerbread like castle that they do with a train running around it. Oh, it's just one of my favorite things. So don't forget, we dropped content this Monday. Neeraj and Andreas, we have dropped their video. You want to make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and check that out, and make sure that you take a look at the computer vision and Azure ML Studio. I'm up next tomorrow. What's it going to be? Well, I guess you're going to have to go over to the site and you're going to have to check it out. Anything else? Well, next Tuesday is our roundtable. So make sure if you've got content that you submit content to us, so that way we can feature you on the show. We would love nothing more than to be able to help feature you. Anything else we need to cover, guys?
No, I think that's it.
Oh,
Excellent.
I think people did ask for the links, probably Brad, for the presentation links.
Yes, anybody who saw us in Jacksonville, we are working on a blog. We will have that out, and we will also be putting our stuff up in a GitHub repo. So every single person that you saw at Tales from the Field, our decks and our demos will be available. We are working on that, and we will have that out to you before too long. So much to do. Got to get all these blog posts out there, right? All right. Well, I think that's it. Gentlemen, have a great week, and everybody out there, have a wonderful weekend. We will see you on Tuesday next week.
You too, sir. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.